in the next Battlefront game. My guess is that they're probably doing a campaign for it. But supposedly they also have another game that they're working on that is more like a 2018. I'd hate to even say 2019 title. Who knows what consoles will be out there in 2019?
Jeez.
And maybe that's part of the problem. They don't they don't really know what they're developing for.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would at least bring Old Republic to consoles.
Oh man, yeah.
It just seems like with all the new consoles come out, it seems like a really good idea to me. I'd love to play through it.
It's really fun. It is, especially if you're a fan of Knights of the Old Republic. The Old Republic is a fusion between Knights of the Old Republic and World of Warcraft.
God, that's a dangerous combination.
It is. No, it is. It's really fun. It's not an amazing game. At least when I played it right when it launched. I dumped probably 60 hours into that beta. And then when it launched, because in order to get into the beta, you had to buy it. You had to pre-order it. And so then when it launched, I maybe played like another 10 hours, maybe, and was like, oh, I think I'm done.
I got so burned on Star Wars Galaxy that I had a hard time ever really wanting to jump into another Star Wars MMO.
Right. I never played that.
That's one of the last MMOs I really played. Dancing Wookiees, that's what I remember.
I remember getting my ass kicked by a butterfly over and over.
So I was just going to say, I think it's with Star Wars, it's nice to know that there are Star Wars titles coming, but obviously we have to wait a little bit longer than we expected to actually see them, and then even longer to play them. So hopefully they're good. They've got some good teams working on this stuff. Respawn is also working on a game. They teased that this project is being led by Stig Asmussen from God of War 3, I think. And they briefly showed in this recruitment video Alex is talking about, they showed two people in motion capture outfits swinging sticks at each other, and then they CG'd some lightsabers on it, and that's their tease. So they're like, there's some Jedi game coming, maybe. So I don't know. I think it is disappointing. I do like videos. I like seeing games even when they're in early stages, just because I find it interesting, even though I know, from a PR standpoint and for the sanity of most of the gaming community out there, that is not a wise decision, because people, they want to see this game and they want to be able to see something they're going to be playing in the next year or two.
At least PlayStation showed off a Star Wars game.
Yeah, I have a mission for Battlefront.
Oh, is that all it was?
It's one mission.
Aww.
No, I know. See,
Aww.
Star Wars is just disappointing.
And like all the missions, it'll be only offline, right?
I hope not. Because what it is, it's an X-Wing mission. It's like the VR X-Wing. I think literally that's what they called it, the VR X-Wing mission.
You shut your mouth.
But yeah, they didn't show enemy players or even TIE fighters. They just hinted that you're in the cockpit of an X-Wing, and you make the jump to light speed and you fly around something else. Oh man, what's the ship called from A New Hope? The very first one with Leia was on there, and then Darth Vader invades it. I can't think of the name of the ship.
Corellian frigate.
Yeah,
No.
It
Corellian
has
cruiser.
It has a specific name. It doesn't matter. They showed that everything looked great, looked phenomenal, and they're like, this is in virtual reality. But we don't know what that really means. Is it 10 minutes in VR? It's not quite the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter dream project I have in my head in VR. Like Eve Valkyrie or something. That's what I want. But I think EA, generally speaking, as a conference, was horribly disappointing.
Oh, it was just terrible.
They've
really got to work on their presentation.
I don't have a problem at all talking about sports titles. FIFA and Madden, like, these are monster titles. I have no problem with that. It's all about how you present it. And they spend way too long, but they do it in a, kind of a cheesy way. And they make...
Yeah, that FIFA Journey, I think is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
The introduction to that was... I put it on mute.
Yeah.
While the kid was going on his dramatic monologue.
I think the only thing that was interesting there was the fact that the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 won't have a story mode for their version. And so I'm curious if that'll be a sign of things to come. Will basic PlayStation 4 not get a story mode next year, as the PlayStation Neo only gets the story mode?
Whoa.
I totally missed this. What is going on?
So yeah, I guess that journey mode is not available. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I was just gonna ask you to clarify. So you're saying that the last gen versions of FIFA are not getting that story mode?
That's correct.
PlayStation 4 being included in last gen.
No. I believe it was just PS3 360.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were saying PS4 wasn't.
No, sorry. So no, I was projecting to the next year's E3.
I was about to lose my shit.
I don't want to go down that conspiratorial rabbit hole, but man,
exclusive to PlayStation Neo.
Oh man, I could almost buy it. The only thing, if we didn't already know about Neo beforehand, I would say that is a legitimate risk, because from what I understand from the Neo leaks, that one of the requirements is that you can't cut major features. Like, you can adjust features, but you can't cut them. Like, the games have to virtually be the same. But I don't know if that extends to like if you could have 64 players in Battlefield 1 on Neo, but it's got to be cut down to 40 on PS4. I don't know if that counts, but man, cutting modes, that's, especially story mode, that's kind of brutal.
Yeah.
But you know what? The whole show, from their treatment of sports and their projection of sports at the EA conference, it's just I think it's poor messaging. I understand that they have to do it. I'm perfectly fine sitting through 5 to 10 minutes of Madden every year, but it's just they bring out these just terrible personalities on camera that shouldn't be there. And you know what? I don't know if you should be talking about Madden NFL in front of a crowd in London.
Oh my God, that was so funny. At least he got off of it pretty quickly. Like, he just he was transitioning with it and then moved off. But, oh, geez.
Yeah, it's just a little awkward. I'm not saying you can't talk about American football in London, but it's just, it comes across as very, very bizarre and maybe a little out of touch. And they focus so much on like the competitive aspects of that, and like the esports aspect. I honestly didn't even know that esports for Madden was a thing. Yeah, like that you could play it competitively. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, total sense. I was just ignorant of that.
Yeah, I guess all the esports is just driven by their developing companies, like, funding, right? So yeah, makes sense.
I think they just had a poor presentation overall, and they didn't focus. They focused too much on the sports, which I don't mind. Like, they did have some interesting stuff to say about Madden and FIFA, and the technology they're using. Like, that's great, that's fine, but they took too long. And then to underwhelm people with Star Wars and Mass Effect, it was just painful. On top of all they had some awkward presenters. It was just, everything just didn't feel. It just wasn't comfortable to watch.
Right.
So yeah, they, especially when you compare it to like Sean Layden today, and of course I'm a huge Sony pony, and I do love PlayStation. So that said, like, Sean Layden killed it, man. Like, he was crisp.
Very impressed with that guy this year.
Yeah, he really shocked me. So yeah, like, they just the way they spoke and the things that they said They just made it so awkward at EA. So, I don't know. Hopefully they can get better, I guess. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I agree. Speaking of awkward, and Sean Layden, probably the other big disappointment of E3, in my opinion, was the Crash Bandicoot remastered.
Oh, well, that's a disappointment, but it's not. We love Crash because you don't even love Crash. What am I saying? I love Crash because
I've never played Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, he was the character for PlayStation. Like he was the first he was the Mario for PlayStation for a while. But
yep, that's how I remember him.
Like, do you really want to play another Crash Bandicoot? Not really. Like nope, it was a very elementary game. It was very basic. I just don't see. I can't imagine anything exciting coming from a new Crash Bandicoot. Now, if you want to fuck, or I don't want to drop too many F-bombs. If you want to bring back Jak and Daxter, like that was a great series that I think could play into, the aging generation, like people our age who grew up with Jak and Daxter. Like, there's still a lot of adult humor, so like it's something we could actually enjoy playing. But like. Right. Crash was very much a kid's platformer.
I'm just over here wanting Banjo-Kazooie.
That's Jason and I have talked about that, but that's another one that just doesn't really do anything for me. Like I can't imagine being too excited for that. But I'm kind of having a hard time getting excited for Layla
Ukulele.
Ukulele. I was going to say Lalo.
Layla Yuka, what?
I don't know what I was going to say.
Yeah, Ukulele from Playtonic, which are former Rare developers, made up of some of the former Rare developers. And yeah, I mean, I think, like, I could not care less about Crash Bandicoot personally. I think the problem is that so many people out there are fans, and Crash definitely has some strong nostalgia with them, just like Alex was saying with Banjo-Kazooie. Like, a Banjo was another game that, like, I played the first one, didn't have it. To me, it wasn't like Mario 64. I have a very strong connection with Mario 64, but not too much with Banjo. But the nostalgia is real for a lot of people.
And I think they're sorry
to tease the character for so long. The return of Crash, Sean Layden had the Crash T-shirt last year. Naughty Dog put Crash 1, I believe. I haven't played Uncharted 4 yet, but they put in a playable version of Crash into Uncharted 4. And and there have been rumors about the return of Crash for a while. I think it's just it's been a lot, and to finally see these things revealed, like, oh, here's what we've been teasing. It's a remastered collection of some sort. They didn't show any of it, but what they did show was Crash and Skylanders. And to speak on behalf of a fan base that I have no part, or I have no business speaking on behalf of, like, I don't think that was the Crash they were looking for.
Yeah, but I think they're just a vocal fan base. I don't think they're actually fans with their wallet. Wow. There have been so many games that have come out, and not everybody, so don't take offense to it, but
if you want to call out Derrick Dover on Twitter, you can follow him at Derrick.
at Jason Johnson. No, people always scream for new games. They always scream for they want this, they want that. But how many times have we seen games come out that people begged for, that it released and they didn't buy?
Right.
Which is why I'm really worried about Ukulele. Because I think people get excited talking about it. Like I love Crash. I have great memories with Crash. If you say we're going to make a new Crash, sure, that's great. Am I going to buy it? No. Do I think all the fans that played Crash a long time ago are going to buy it? No. Are young kids going to buy it? Probably not. They don't care who Crash is.
You know what Sony should do is they should really consider, and I'm saying this seriously, they should consider revamping the PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
That's so